Thank you, Max. We move on to the final talk of the day, which is from David Roy, who's worked at the Biological Records Centre since 1995 and is currently the head. He's been that since 2010, and his current research is focused on developing and monitoring approaches for insects. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It's my great pleasure to give a few closing remarks. I've not got any slides, so sorry for those in the room who've got to look at a blank screen. Perfect. Great. So yes, my great pleasure to be here with you all. And it was something of an imposter at a botanical celebration, perhaps not for the reason you think, that I mainly work on insects, but I had to Google what a valedictory means. My classical education is lacking compared to some of my predecessors in BRC. But it's I found out it means a farewell address, and I think I don't feel this is a farewell address, because I think this is, to me, this is the journey that we're on together in terms of BRC and BSBI working on understanding plant distributions, what's causing their change, and hopefully providing evidence for those who need it to make decisions about how we manage a natural environment that we had lots of good examples about before. So I'm really just going to give a few reflections, for my personal reflections of being involved in the work of BRC and this Atlas project. And as I said, I think it's really was described really well by many of the speakers. This has been a long-term, really fruitful partnership between BRC and BSBI. And Ollie described it as a mild tension or a set of paratensions, but in my experience, it's been a great pleasure to work with BSBI as the organisation, its many members, the Royce County Recorders and expert botanists, but also the staff in BSBI. A real credit to the organisation and British Wildlife and understanding the environment in the UK. So I'm filled with optimism about what the future brings for us. And I just also like to note that a lot of the interactions has been with BRC, but we work very closely with BSBI on the non-native policy work in the UK, well, in Britain and Ireland, and partners in the National Plant Monitoring Scheme alongside JNSSC and PlantWide. So lots of really exciting and fruitful interactions between the organisations. So I don't feel an imposter in terms of not being a botanist. I think I'm very lacking in my skills, but really pleased to have at least contributed tens of records to the DDB that are part of the contribution. And I think that shows that BSBI are a really inclusive organisation and will recognise the abilities vary greatly amongst its contributors. But I think that BSBI have got a really important role in training the next generation. And as Chris highlighted, that was really a feature of the first plant atlas. It was trying to build up an enthusiasm and expertise around plants to open our eyes to these amazing wildlife on our doorstep. I'd also like to reflect that the innovations that being involved in this plant analysis has allowed us is fantastic, both the technical work, but also how we communicate uncertainty, how we develop online tools alongside published books. The BRC works with around 90 schemes and societies in the UK, so I think I'm going to get lots of approaches from other schemes to do something similar for them, and I think there's lots of good lessons we can learn to bring to other recording schemes. So that, and my final thing I'm looking forward to really is the international impact of what we've been doing together. I think this will be noticed by others. There's a growing momentum around understanding biodiversity across the world. I think we continue to lead the way in how to do this really well. So I think we should be pleased with ourselves, and I hope that we see that impact coming in the next few decades. So before I close, I'd just like to give some thanks. I think we've really appreciated the effort that has gone into the organisation today. So particularly thank Jonathan for organising us, making the technology work, which is, it's not always easy, and hosting us here at the British Antarctic Survey. And also give thanks to Jane Francis as the FAST director, who's kindly provided these facilities for us today. Mary Whitlaw for the herbarium tours, and Peter Leonard for the photography, and all those who've helped look after us today. Astrid Biddle for the cake, which was really fantastic. to look at, but also fantastic to eat. I think you all agree that that was, yeah, great, thanks for that. And also Louise, Marsh and Sarah Woods at BSBI have also helped with the organisation. But my final thanks really is, others have said it, but the incredible effort of the recorders, botanists in the UK, individual recorders and the Vice County Recorder Network. And that staggering cost of this would cost £10 million to do as a paid endeavour. It was absolutely incredible. So I think they're the real heroes of this. So I'd like to add my thanks to their incredible efforts, but also thank Pete Stroh, who's perhaps doesn't want the limelight, but I think I would also reflect that when we were asked to be involved in this project, BRC that is, it was really about an online website. And the book wasn't really featuring at that point, but I think it's to Pete's credit that he dogmatically insisted that we need a book, and I think we all agree that was a fantastic decision and will give us a lasting legacy of this project alongside the website. So as I say, I don't think this is a farewell. I think thanks for hosting us and thanks for giving BRC the opportunity to work with BSBI. I look forward to what the future brings to us together. Thank you.